Hello everyone. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened, but although I thought the recording was telling me it was recording the whole time, when I came to replay it, it just hadn't recorded anything and refused to play. So I'm terribly sorry for those of you that weren't able to make the session, that you haven't been able to see the video. I'm going to do a very quick lightning recap to remind us what we did in the hopes that you'll be able to have a go and catch up. So very, very quickly, we did an oval shape first and then a second oval round it. We drew the swag line coming up and a swag line going down, and then a top swag line coming up and a swag line coming up to meet it. With these ones here, our soft filmy drapes, we did that line drawing first, like that, round, so down and round like that, and then we use white pencil to make that line a bit heavier, and then just gently fade up from that point so that the swag faded into the grey paper and gave that sort of rather ghostly feel to it. We then used a white pencil to mark out the fold lines in our drapery, so that white pencil is there, but it's kind of now been faded into what we were doing, and that allowed us to so that when we did our vertical lines coming down, we can draw down. I can draw one in this section because then you can see that here. So we draw down, then when we hit the bump, we did the curve to follow that bump, and down, curve it down again, down and round like that. And by copying that shape across, by keeping all of our vertical lines doing that, and they slightly angle, so as they come towards the top, they sort of get sucked in towards the brooch at the top. But by following that pattern, it allowed us to create the illusion of these folds coming across. I then recommend that we map out then, or add on the darker areas of shadow and the lighter areas of shadow. So going across the board, doing shadow on the underneath of that fold and the underneath of that one, so that when we apply any more colours, the shadow is already there for us, and it's going to help blend, it's going to help give shadow to the colour we put on top, is what I'm struggling to say. I've just done an hour and a half of this, so I'm slightly wobbly. There we go. So that's just that, like that. And then do the same thing with your white pencil. Put in the highlight. So that would be on the top of your fold. Like that. So we did all that first, and then we can put the patterns in. When doing the patterns, you can just do plain colour stripes, of course. If you want to put patterns in, think about how they're going to be affected by the bumps that we've drawn in. So if I do another pattern quickly, and you do another sort of spirally one, sorry, not a spirally one of the swaggy ones that looks like commas, how we're going to call those. So as they come down and they're going to overlap like that, well, that one would sort of jump out there, wouldn't it? Right. So when it hits the swag, you might want to take your pen off, and you might just see like a little bit of distortion happening where it hits the bend. And I've got to remember what I did now. Go up and then a little bit of a break, take the top round and sort of start to see it like that. And we're going to see, so here where this one comes down, it's going to bend down over the bottom of the bend, but then it's going to slightly change. Think of it as each time it's going to slightly distort when it hits the bend. So you'll just see a little tiny sliver of that kind of, it's starting to look like tadpole. And this top one here, I might miss off the top bit altogether because that's kind of disappearing into that fold. I think I've changed the pattern, haven't I? Oh well, the world will forgive me. And then bring that in, and they get slightly larger as they come down. And now we're going to do this pattern. Here we are, and we just slightly break it. And there we go. And you see that just helps to increase that illusion that our pattern is following those folds. With the stone, what we did was we put a patch of white in first. So this top area here where you see this glow, we did a really heavy oval, in an oval of white pencil first. Then we used the green around the outsides and built up some layers, added some blue in to create the really strong shadow, put some more white on top, and then we used white pen to put these really liquid highlights onto the stone. And the same with the little stones going round. We did a white pen in the top half of each little circle. So white pencil, then green pencil, then white pen. With this fold on here, I'm going to show you how we draw that one, because we all agreed it was quite a satisfying thing to draw. So I'll see if you can work it out. I'm going to put it in the bottom section here, so that, because I've already done it up here. So it's basically doing like a long joined up S kind of shape. I've got to get into the right position now to draw this around my camera. So I'm going to start from this end here. So we're going like forwards and then curve round, back and forwards. And I've got to work out how I do it. I'm going to do it differently this one because I can't work it out. And then it's a similar kind of idea with this one. I'm going backwards and forwards, and I'm going to show you how to turn this into a frill. So you can do either one. It's going to disappear into here because I don't want it to crash into my filmy bit here. So I've got this weird sort of shape here, but to make it look more like a frill or a ribbon, I'm then going to come in and draw a line up and up from each of these bends. You can see how straight away that's starting to look like folds overlapping each other like that. Can you see how that's working? And then I come in and I'm going to do the behind ones. With the behind ones, they're going to just be a little tiny line coming down to touch the one in front. So hopefully you can see how that is now a different shaped kind of frilly bit that's coming along like that. And then to again think about, first of all, putting down your foundation, your underneath kind of highlights and low and shadows. So that edge there, that top edge, I can put a little bit of white in just to enhance that and give it, that's my white pencil that I didn't like so much. Where's the one I did like? There we go. Along under here and along under here. You see, just adding that little moment of highlight. And I probably put a little bit of highlight into that section there because that's going to be revealed and it's going to hit a bit of light too, like that. And then I'm going to use my grey pencil this time, my lead pencil, just to add. So where you've got that little tucked in bit there, down there, look, that's going to be a bit more shadowy. That's going to be a bit more shadowy. And I put a little bit of shadow kind of in there as well. And hopefully you're seeing how that's adding to this 3D feel. And if you're on my student list, you will get the scan of this image as well. So you can look at it and not have to zoom in. I mean, you can zoom in, sorry, it's exactly what you can do, is look at it, zoom in, and see if you can work out the lines from that. So that was how we kind of did the frill, the frill of it all. And then with this one, once we've got this sort of lovely soft white pencil in, we then use some of this just lead pencil, because we're using the grey of the paper to be a mid-tone, and then we can just add some darker tones in. And I'm just using ordinary graphite pencil because I'm using grey paper. If you were using a brown or gold tinted paper, you might just use a dark brown to be the shadow sort of colour. And then I'm just, where I've got this drape kind of coming in front, I'm going to beef up my shadow there. And like behind here, I think I would then start adding some shadow in there. See, that's just helping to make that kind of pop out a bit, and a little bit of shadow just under that white line. And I can take that all the way across because this shadow is being cast by the fold on top like that. So it's just sort of building up like that. So there we go. That was a very quick 10-minute recap of the lesson that annoyingly failed to video, but hopefully with the scan you'll be able to have a good stab at getting all of this finished, all of this patterned up. Lots of drape here. I would get some more white along these two edges here, blending up into the grey under there, and there you have it, a fantastic drapey doodle. Drapey doodle do.